Welcome, football fans, to Western Big Six football 1998. This is TCI Channel 38, a Family Ties production. This is Jim Sanders with Mike Strickland. Mike's going to join us this year in the booth. It is his rookie game, his first game, and we're excited to have Mike with us. Mike's a former UT player, played down at Southern, and has joined the UT staff, and we're happy to have him aboard. Tonight's ball game, Michael, tonight is between the Dixon Dukes, and Alleman.
Alleman Pioneers. They're looking a little tough, but Dixon's looking like they're ready to play.
Well, we're going to go with two real interesting matchup. How about last week's? What happened last week in the ball game with these two teams?
Well, last week the Dixon Dukes got into a real overtime nail biter with
Rockfall.
And it ended up on the losing end 6-0, so I'm sure they're very eager to get after it. And the Alleman Pioneers ended up getting a thumping by Sterling, and I'm sure they're pretty eager to get out and redeem themselves this week. Well,
it's always, you always have to play somebody. The coaches always seem to talk about, well, we got to, we practiced all this time, now it's time to play somebody. Non-conference football, Mike, what, as a player, the games you played prior to the Western Big Six, how did you approach those ball games when you went into them?
Well, those ball games were very serious for our team. It was a time for us to warm up and get ready for a very tough Big Six schedule. And so the stiffer the competition off schedule, then the better it was for us.
Well, and I think that's what all the teams are trying to do, opening up. A lot of people are playing teams out of the NCIC and out of the Peoria, the Mid-State, whatever it is now, 8, 9, or 10, whatever it is down there. I think they're just trying to do just that. So this is the second ball game for each team. The teams are warming up. Dixon, the coaches talked a little bit about running a little bit of pro-I formations and things like that, and as the captains meet at the middle of the field out here to toss the coin, the official just threw it up, and it appears as though they're talking to Dixon, and Dixon is going to make some kind of a decision out here right now, and then Alleman is going to defend that goal. So the way this looks right now, Carlo Ferrari is our official. Dixon will receive. Alleman will kick off and defend the south end of the field. So we're just about set up, Mike. Maybe a little bit about the nerves a little bit as you go into a ball game. How'd you feel before you stepped out there on that field and played that first series?
Well, that first series is tough. For us at UT, we had a very good drill that got the butterflies out, so we didn't go out too nervous to start a game, but it can be a very nervous time until you get that first hit.
Well, we're going to be back with the starting lineups in just a minute. Again, this is Western Big Six football. Jim Sanders, Mike Strickland here from Rocky Stadium. We've got the Alleman Pioneers against the Dixon Dukes, and we'll be right back. Well, here we are back at Rocky Stadium, generally the home of the Rocks if you check the scoreboard, but tonight's the home of the Pioneers. Jim Sanders and Mike Strickland here waiting for Alleman to come out. Michael, what's it feel like being in that tunnel over there getting ready to come out here at Rocky Stadium?
Oh, that's a very exciting time. You hear the music and you see the cheerleaders jumping around, people getting excited. All the butterflies are going away right now, Coach.
Well, we're ready, waiting for Alleman to come out. This should be an exciting ball game. Alleman does have a few kids coming back off some injuries, and I think that should help them just a little bit. We kind of checked the papers out today a little bit, and they're going to have Adam McGinnis back. He's a starting defensive back, and John Granite, he's a fullback linebacker, and Ben Lair, who's an extra point and field goal kicker. Those young men weren't available last ball game, and you just don't know what effect that has on the team chemistry.
True, the chemistry could totally be changed by those three players. Leadership is probably what they're looking for, and I think those players may be able to give it to Alleman tonight.
Well, we hope so. I think we're getting kind of anxious to go. We're going to take a moment here for our national anthem. We'll be right back. Well, here come the Alleman Pioneers out of the locker room. Dixon's been here for a while, and they were here for the national anthem. Alleman just finished their pregame. I saw Father Marabelli come out the door first, and the team is gathered in the tunnel, and it's an exciting time. We've mentioned that before, and Alleman really, I think, Mike, needs to get off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, fundamentally they're looking to control the line of scrimmage and do a little better with their tackling. If they can do that, they have a really good shot at winning this ball game.
Well, the motivation is here. Obviously a home ball game. They played last week up at Sterling, and that was Sterling. I had an opportunity to coach there a couple different times, and that's a tough place to play, and Sterling is a tough program. They've been representing that conference in the state playoffs for many, many years in a row. So this should be an exciting time. So we're getting ready to announce our starting lineups, Mike.
Number 99, Nate Herring.
Chris Jones, number 66, a defensive end for Alleman.
For Dixon, number 39, who... 39, I don't have him.
Don't have him on there. Brandon Fromelt, number 77, is going to start for Alleman. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take... Getting ready for opening kickoff, Mike. Who's going to be doing the kicking off for Alleman today? Looks like number 62. Is that it?
Yes, number 62, John Arnold, has been assigned to the kicking duties for Alleman today.
Well, he's a big old linebacker, too, and I think he's done that for him before, and he's going to probably get a good foot in that. Checking the deep guys here for Dixon, we have number 21 back here. That's Kyle Whitson. He's a 5'8", 175-pound junior. And next to him is number 20, Lucas Brainerd. He's a starter, two-way starter, 6 foot, 185. Up in front of them is number 89, Dustin Kelly. He's got 99. That's Nate Henry, in case the kick is a little bit short. So we're ready to go, Mike. Mentioning the head coaches now over the PA, Chuck Feldman is the head coach from Dixon. This is his first year as the head coach at Dixon, and we had a nice visit with him before the ball game.
Yeah, coach said, you know, he's changing things up a little bit there, running a multi-set offense out of the power I, and also running a college 4-3, something I'm very familiar with.
Well, we ought to have a good look at that, but we're going to see them on offense first here. Here we go. It's a squib kick fielded up front and fallen on up there by number 62 from Dixon. That's Steve Fain. He's a 180-pound junior, and Dixon's going to start off in very good field position. That ball's going to be marked down at about the 43-yard line. For Dixon, in that offensive line, they're going to have Williams, Lewis, Probst, Taylor, and Linder with Love and Henry at the ends. Prasuka, number 5, is the quarterback. Brainerd, Burns, and Holm will be the running backs. I formation, pro I, tight end right, split ends left and right. Prasuka back to pass, flea flicker. It was coming right there. The pass intended out there for number 1. That's Lee Holm. Incomplete, and they had number 20 coming around the bend. That's Lucas Brainerd, Mike.
Well, it looked like Alleman was off to a pretty good start. Looking a little aggressive tonight, running their 5-2 defense. All linebackers were up close around the ball. Looked like they're looking to stop the run right off the bat.
What sets up second down and 10 here? Early first quarter action in this the second preseason game here. The Alleman Pioneers against the Dixon Dukes. Prasuka, the quarterback. I formation. I do a big block by the fullback into that time, Mike. Number 20 on the carry. That's Lucas Brainerd. He's the eye back, and the big old fullback up inside is Burns, I think, number 31, isn't it?
Yes, if Burns keeps blocking like that, I think Dixon's ground game may work a little bit tonight. You know, that was a wonderful block, good form, good hit. Coaches love to hear that.
Well, it looked like Alleman ran to the ball that time. I didn't pick out exactly who made the tackle, but we'll try to get those tackles here as we go along. But Alleman got a couple good linebackers in there, I know, with Pena and Arnold, I think, are the 2 linebackers. And one of them must have met the fullback head on there a minute ago. Third down, 5 yards to go, just short of midfield. Prasuka, the quarterback. Pass. Oh, it's going to be a little option play outside. Pitch outside, turn in the corner, run into the boundary is number 31, Nick Burns.
Eric Wood and Adam McGinnis in on the tackle. That was very good pursuit by the Alleman Pioneers on that play.
Well, they ran the ball to the boundary real well. Number 50's coming out of the lineup over there, Mike. Looks like he twisted an ankle or something for Alleman, and that's, was that Eric Wood?
Yeah, Eric Wood, the guy that was in on the tackle. I'm not sure what happened, but he's being replaced by number 52, Paul Taddy.
Well, that's a change. Of course, Wood is a two-way starter and played that way for Alleman along the way. So that's maybe one of their most experienced players. So we're hoping he gets back in the ball game. Going to have a measurement here. It's going to be either a first down or it's going to be 4th and short. And the ball is marked at about the 48-yard line. The Alleman 48, 47. Short by about a foot. First decision being made right now by the Dixon coaching staff. Not much of a decision, I don't think.
No, I think it's close enough for them to go ahead and go for this. You know, they ran the ball pretty effective up the middle. They should be able to get a foot on this play.
Let's take a look this time, Mike, and see what kind of short yardage defense if Alleman makes an adjustment in there. And we'll just see how this goes as the chain crew comes off the field. The Dukes are coming out of the huddle now. And it looks like they've gone maybe to a 6-3 or 6-1. Yeah, very good. Wide receiver to this side. They set the chains. The officials getting ready. It's one thing I didn't like to do very much was get the team out there and stand there and wait. If the officials are doing that, let's stay in the huddle and kind of come out together.
Yeah, that was always pretty effective for us. We stayed in the huddle, kept our focus. Being at the line, sometimes we got a little mouthy.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's a 4th down situation. First big play of the game. Prasuka, the quarterback. The fullback gets hit early, leans forward, and he may have got the first down.
That was good pursuit by number 44. He's up in the line. He made an early hit. If he could have stood him up a little better, he might have gotten him from the first down, but I think that eventually they made it.
That was a good run in there by the fullback that time, and he hit in there real hard. That's Nick Burns. He's a 6'1", 218-pounder, so he brought force with him. Looks like with Pena, number 44, they must have dropped him down as one of the guys over the guards there in that 6'1".
Yeah, that speed probably helped up there to get around those big linemen.
Well, we'll see if that works again in short yardage. Dixon on a little bit of a move now. The ball at the Alleman 47. Inside trap, the fullback. Looks like Burns is going to be a little bit of a workhorse. He, again, I mentioned he's a junior fullback. Last week against Rock Falls, Brainerd had most carries. He had 12 carries for 54 yards, but it looks like they're going to get a steady diet of Burns tonight.
Yeah, I think Brandon Vermont ended up eventually tripping Burns up as he went through the hole, but that was a pretty good trap play.
I like little 29, the nose guard for Alleman in there. We can watch him a little bit. I think he's a pretty feisty little guy. He's not real tall, but I think he carries a load with him.
Yeah, he's coming off the ball real hard and getting his hands in front of him. That's a real good technique.
Automatic call looks like. Yep, we got a penalty coming. We got a little delay here. Or what are we going to see? Maybe the first penalty of the ball game. It looks like a delay of the game. We're at the 10-minute mark, 10:04 here in the first quarter, and a first penalty, Mike.
Well, I think they were just a little slow getting out of the huddle, and the quarterback needs to keep an eye on that play clock so he gets everything going quick as he can.
Well, I think that's real important, and it helps, too. The officials are starting that clock real quick here. So, anyway, after a nice first down play, a 5-yard gain, they lose 5 yards back now on the penalty. So, it's 2nd and 10. Ball at the 47, Alleman 47-yard line. Tailback, off tackle, pops to the outside. Ball's loose, out of bounds. No big problem there as Lucas Brainerd carried that ball. Not much of a gain.
Tony Guzzo on the pursuit there and eventually knocked the ball out of the running back's hands, and that was good. Good technique and going after the ball. That's what Alleman's looking for, is to get the ball to their offense today.
I mentioned not much of a gain, Mike, and it's a 7-yard gain, so somebody's winning the neutral zone.
Oh, yeah. But on that play, I think the fumble forward helped a little bit.
Never hurts to fly that ball about 3 yards forward, does it? As long as it stays out of bounds, it gets out of bounds. Well, it sets up a 3rd down. They're going to mark it 3rd and 5. Ball at the Alleman 42-yard line. The Dukes on the move here. First possession, opening quarter. Western Big Six football here from Rocky Stadium. Very deliberate coming out of the huddle. Prasuka, quick stop out there. Led the receiver just a little bit. It looked like the receiver thought he was going to run a stop. That's number 1 out there, Lee Holm. And the pass was just off the mark.
Well, that was good coverage by Matt Franks out there on the corner. And Pena, the linebacker, showing pressure, getting in there, pressuring the quarterback, making him maybe throw it a little earlier than he anticipated.
Well, sets up a 4th down situation. Dixon only made 1 substitution at that point in time, so it looks like they're probably going to go for it here. Here again, we've always played a little more field position in this. 42-yard line to be a punting situation for us, but we'll see if this works for Dixon. Again, officials counting. We got another delay of game penalty coming here unless they hurry. There's your snap. Draw. Off tackle. No place to run. Pin him to the boundary and out of bounds. Oh, my. That's a nice little run there at the boundary, Mike.
Very nice, but there was a whole host of Alleman Pioneers over there to try to make the stop. This looks like it's going to be really close. And from here right now, I can't call it, Coach.
We always do this, but it's got to be out in the middle of the field. I'm going to take a calculated guess and say they didn't make it, Mike.
Nope, it looks like they didn't make it. Alleman Pioneers taking over on downs.
Well, the Alleman Pioneers in their first possession. Well, first thing we want to look for is see if Wood comes back in at center, and that'll give us some indication maybe if that injury picked up there early has been any effect on him. He's coming out of the huddle, though.
Well, number 50's back. He's a tough guy. He's a center and a defensive end, so we expect him to be in there playing hard today.
Well, Alleman now 1st and 10, ball at their own 37-yard line. Second man through. Nice hard run that time off tackle by number 13, and that is Jake Nelson. That's a nice gain, Mike. 5-yard pickup there. Off tackle. They went the second man. They rode Pena into the hole, pulled the ball. Aaron Ruthie, the quarterback. The backfield for Alleman has Ruthie at number 10 at quarterback, Pena at fullback, Krieger and Nelson in the backfield.
Well, you have to forgive me, Coach. They switched up the numbers. The tackle's by number 30 there, and I can't seem to find him on my program at this point.
Ooh, pressure from the backside. A little long. Alleman had a little trouble last week. Ruthie was attacked that time from the backside. Number 3 made a great rush off the corner and put lots of pressure. And that when you're a quarterback and you get hit in the back on every pass, it makes you really, really nervous, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It makes you think about that backside and not concentrate on what you're supposed to. He threw that ball a little long. I think he hurts a couple footsteps.
Well, you're always the guy making those footsteps, of course, coming back here, and you kind of like that. I'm sure of that.
That was very enjoyable.
Well, here we go. 3rd down and 5 for Alleman. Split backs. Dive, straight dive play. Pena on the carry, and he got across the 45-yard line. That's a good, solid run in there by Pena. And we'll see where they mark it, whether it's a first down or not, but it's very, very close. The ball is marked at about the 47-yard line, and we may have another measurement. It looks like we are. Well, Mike, while they're measuring this thing, each week we're going to make some predictions here. We're going to have to do it real quick because it's going to be a situation here, but we're going to do Western Big Six predictions. Here we go. Alleman versus Dixon. Who do you like?
I like Dixon.
Okay, how about I like Alleman.
Okay.
Rock Island and Peoria Manual.
Oh, I got to go with the Rocks.
We both picked the Rocks. Alton and Quincy.
I'll go with Alton.
And I'll take Quincy. And how about UT Richwood?
Please forgive me, but I got to take Richwood.
I'll take the Panthers, Moline and Kenwood out of Chicago.
The Maroons look like they can handle that.
And I'll take Maroons also. And Galesburg against Peoria Notre Dame.
I'm going to go with Galesburg.
And I'll pick Peoria Notre Dame. So we got a couple things there. We'll let you know next week. And by the time you watch this, you're going to know whether we were right or wrong. Alleman did pick up the first down. So with 8:22 to go, Pioneers have the ball. 1st and 10. Dive play again. Nice hard run in there. Pena again.
15-75. That was a nice run there by Pena. And it tackled by number 55. Lawrence Taylor.
It's a pick up about 4 yards. We'll hit that offensive line for Alleman. At the ends, they've got Nate Brandt at tight end. The 2 tackles are Morlock and Hurst. The guards, Burton and Jones. Eric Woods at center. The wide receivers is Mandley. Ruthie on the carry, off tackle, gets hit hard about the 44-yard line, looks like, and knocked down on the sideline.
All right, Chris Love, the outside linebacker, really put a pop on the quarterback there.
Well, you need some tough kids. You talked a little bit earlier about that college 4-3, but you really do need to have, in that front 4, need to be some really tough football players if you're going to try to hold a good running attack down.
Yeah, because if you can get past the front line in that college 4-3, it's easy to pick off your linebackers on some misdirection plays, and you can run all day on that if you work properly.
Alleman goes now 3rd and 1. We got the wide receiver to the near side, a wing back to this side, fullback hard up the middle. Ball's loose and on the ground in there somewhere. Dixon thinks they've recovered. And let's just see, the officials agree with him or not, but Alleman's leaving the field, so you got to believe the white shirt's on that one.
That was a very good play for Dixon Dukes, and they came up with the ball. Now, field position game right now is in favor of Dixon. We haven't moved very far. We're still in the middle of the field, maybe like their last week's game.
Well, obviously, if you play a 6-0 ball game, get it into overtime, you play a pretty good defense somewhere along the line.
That is true. That is true.
Well, the Dukes have the ball now. Second possession, the ball at their own 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Going to a split back set. Motion by the wide receiver. Probably try a quick pitch left. Nice defense out there by Alleman.
Looks like number 50, the end, stayed at home. Eric Wood making another good play.
Well, they gave us a little motion this side, had no bearing on the play. I tell you what it did as I looked at that, though, Mike. As 80 went in motion, Alleman stretched their defense, and the tight end looked like if they'd have run some kind of a dump that time, the tight end, if he could have got off the line of scrimmage, might have been wide open. But we'll see if they've seen that upstairs. We may see that play later. But only about a 3-yard gain that time. 2nd down, and we'll call it 2nd and 8. Pro set, far side of the field, I formation, motion, fullback inside, nowhere to go.
The Alleman Pioneers were there for that play. All the linemen meeting and converging on number 31. He didn't make a very good hole in there for him to run through.
Well, we talked coming over the car about trying to pick out names and numbers. I'll tell you, there are about 7 of those. It's been easier to pick out who wasn't there, I think. Alleman made a great play that time. 6 minutes, 27 seconds to go. A scoreless ball game here in the first quarter. 3rd and 10. See if Dixon's got something up their sleeve here. As we talked to their coach, he's coached at the college level, a lot of different high schools. He's been all around, Mike.
Yeah, he has. It looks like Alleman switched up their defensive front here, and now they're running a little 4-4.
Draw play, nowhere to go. Alleman's all over that one.
Looks like number 77, number 66, Chris Jones, and Brandon Fremont were in there first.
Well, 4th down, and I'm going to take a gamble right now. They're definitely going to punt this time, Mike. 4th and 11.
I think that'd be a good guess this time, Coach.
Now, number 20 here is having a little trouble with his helmet. He's got to talk to the official for just a minute here. That's Lucas Brainerd. He's their tailback, carried the ball that time, but no place to go. As Alleman, we take that equipment time out here, and the kids need to know that if you're watching your young football player, you got to realize that you have time, 30 seconds to fix your equipment. So don't run up to the official and call a timeout, or don't just run off the field, because you don't have to do it that way.
No, if you go to the official and just say you have an equipment problem, they'll give you a second. If you can't fix it, they'll send you off to have it fixed.
And that's exactly the way to do it. 2 wide outs here and 3 men back on this punt formations. Drop the snap. Alleman's there. A very short punt. They were lucky to get that baby off at all. Number 2 that time for Dixon. And there's another one of those numbers that is not in our book. So number 2 from Dixon had his whole life flash before him as he dropped that snap. And then you know his eyes were really big when those guys are coming.
Well, that's a punter's nightmare, to drop the ball and look back up and you see the different colored jersey just rushing at you, 3 or 4 of them.
Well, and even though the guys got through, your front blockers up there aren't expected to hold those guys out forever. They're down there trying to cover that kick eventually. So Alleman with the ball. Little motion here, penalty. And we got some type of a penalty here. I'm not quite sure what it is. Could be an equipment problem. I'm not sure. Maybe, and here again, that was one of those penalties that always bugged me. I think I heard the official say your chin strap is unbuckled. And as a player, tell me, do you know whether all 4 of those straps are buckled or not?
Well, no, not usually, but it's always good practice to keep your helmet on and keep it fastened up at all times.
Amen, brother. That goes back a few years, Michael.
Yes,
Well, after that equipment penalty, a 5-yard penalty against Alleman. Ruthie on the bootleg pass. He's running for his life, and he's not going to go very far as the Dixon Dukes get there in a real big hurry.
Looks like Ryan Matha and Lawrence Taylor were in on that, chasing the quarterback down and dropping him for, it looks like, about 11-yard loss.
Well, early in the ball game like this, Alleman has kind of run the ball halfway decent, and so you sometimes maybe think you've got a good opportunity on a little play action or bootleg pass, but the white shirts came through real quick, and Aaron had no place to go. He's a tough kid, and he's a strong kid, but I mean, there's 3 guys jumping you on the back. It's kind of hard to throw that ball.
You got to be very nimble to get away from them.
Well, it's a 2nd down now, and the board says 27. I'm going to believe him because I'm not going to try to count that far. Motion by Alleman. draw off tackle power play, and Alleman comes through real quick. Good hard running there. That time by Krager, Casey Krager, number 27. He's 5'8" and 150-pounder. He got in that hole in a hurry.
Well, it looks like Peter Love and Lucas Brannard converged on the tackle, but that was well downfield into the secondary. That's something that Dixon doesn't want to see.
Well, good news is they had 27 yards to go, so you can give up a 7-yard gain on second down. Doesn't hurt you too bad. Third down and 20. The ball at the Alleman 40-yard line. And Alleman's going to go with 2 receivers the far side of the field. 1 back, basically, and that is Pena. Ruthie back to pass. Pressure going to go deep. That ball's up for grabs. Nice catch out there by Alleman and knocked out of bounds. Beautiful catch out there that time. On the reception for Alleman was number 9. And that's Matt Franks. He's a strong safety. If our fans from last couple of years, remember that Matt was also a quarterback. He started several ball games for Alleman over the last 2 years as a quarterback, and he's also a starting strong safety.
Well, that was a well-executed play by the Alleman Pioneers, and number 21, Kyle Whitson, was the one that made the tackle and forced him out of bounds. Otherwise, he could have went a lot longer.
Well, and that's a tough, that's a tough duty for the defense. Now, you get the team into 2nd and 27, and they take 2 plays and get a first down. Straight ahead hitter. That's where Alleman's going to live or die, I think, as this season goes along, is running Pena up the middle, Krager up the middle, and with that powerful line.
Well, Coach, when you're getting 6 yards up the middle from your fullback, why run anything else? I just don't understand it.
I think that's a good call, Mike. Ball now, and Alleman's got a nice drive going. The ball at the 34-yard line. 3:17 to go here in the first quarter. 0-0 ball game. This 4-3 puts a lot of pressure on that middle linebacker when they're running straight dives at you.
That's true, but it looks like number 31's up for the task. He's still making good tackles and getting in there.
Well, Pena again. I listened to the ball game last week for Alleman and Sterling as we're coming back from Sycamore and watching a ball game up there, and it sounded like when Alleman was going the best that Pena was getting the ball handed to him straight ahead, and that was when they were their most effective last week, even though the game turned out to be not what Alleman wanted. The straight dive was a big play.
Well, that's true. Pena's turned out to be the workhorse for him today.
Well, they've got Pena, and another straight dive. He's loose. Look out. Inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. Phil Pena, he's 5'9". He's a 202-pound fullback linebacker.
Well, you really don't want your safety, number 20, Branford, making that tackle. But, Pena, like I said with college 4-3, you get past the first line, it's pretty much running free all day.
Well, that 4-3, you better have a middle linebacker that can play for anybody. And it's harder to protect him with only the 4-down linemen, and we'll see. But that's all we're looking at right now. Alleman's not going to get real fancy. They're handing that ball off and digging up in there.
I noticed Dixon has moved those outside linebackers in over the tackles. They're trying to get some more support on that inside to try to stop Pena, but there's another 3-yard gain. That's pretty good.
Well, that line, offensive line for Alleman's doing a nice job. They're coming off the ball real well, staying low, getting under those pads. We've talked about that year after year. You get under those pads, good things can happen.
Looking very fundamentally sound today.
Boy, Pena got a good start that time. Franks with the ball, breaks a tackle at the 10, dives down inside the 10, looks like about the 9-yard line, maybe a little short of the 9, and a little short of the first down. Second man that time, they faked the ball to Pena. Ruthie did a nice job of ball handling there for a split second. I was trying to figure out how many yards Pena was going to get, and Franks ended up with football.
Well, that's a good technique. Dixon's probably keen on Pena right now, so you run him up the middle and get the linebacker to converge on him, and that leaves the second man open for 6-7 yards every play.
Well, into the backfield now is number 27, Casey Krager. Will run in there at tailback, and he gets the ball off tackle. I formation power play just short of the goal line, down to inside the 1-yard line, and a first down for Alleman.
Coach, that was an excellent block by Pena that time. He just leveled one of the linebackers, which freed number 27 up for that nice run.
Well, usually in a power play out of the eye like that, your fullback's being asked to block a defensive end or somebody like that, get a double team inside of that. They are really coming off the football well right now.
Alleman looks fired up, like they're ready to play. I knew they'd come out and be ready today.
Pena stood up at the goal line, but he gets across the line, and Alleman scores first here with 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Alleman strikes first and leads 6-0.
Coach, that play, he was met in the hole by 3 players and still pounded ahead for that 1 yard. He's a very strong player, and I know the coach is just ecstatic to have him in the backfield.
Well, Phil's a good hard runner, and he's had some injury problems over his years at Alleman. I could be wrong, but I think if I remember correctly, he broke his arm in a freshman game at UT when he's a freshman. He's had some other leg injuries, knee injury kinds of things that have kept his playing time down, but did a nice job. Franks to hold, Layer to kick. The kick is up. The kick is just a little short.
Just a little short. I mean, he may not be totally back from his injury yet or totally comfortable in the game situation. Looks like that might be a little butterflies on his part right there.
Well, hopefully that's not the only touchdown that Alleman gets. We're going to take a short break here. 35 seconds to go. Alleman has scored first and leads 6-0.
Well, we got John Arnold kicking again for Alleman, getting ready to put that boot. Let's see if they do the squib kick all over again.
I don't think the ball's going to go deep, but we'll see here. A line drive, and it could get to the deep guys. Number 21 back there picks that ball up. Kyle Whitson, nice hit at about the 23-yard line. Where'd all the blockers go?
Number 33 and number 27 made great plays right there. Casey Krager and John Garrett. That's wonderful.
Big hit up there inside, so that's the way to do that. Nice job. Way to get after those people. Well, not as good a field position. After the first kickoff on the squib kick when the up man caught the ball, I think Dixon started about the 40-yard line. Now they're starting at about their own 23. So just short of 30 seconds to go here. Dixon has the ball again. Quarterback again is Mike Prazuka. Burns is the fullback. Brainerd's the tailback. Holm is a wide receiver. Pass. Looked like they're going to try to set a little screen up. Prazuka scrambling back there with no place to go. Big hit inside by Alleman.
A whole slew of Alleman players in on the backfield again, making that sack. It looked like Alleman has switched up and went to the 6-1 look again. That's very interesting on first down, Coach.
Well, Alleman over the years, as we followed them, they like to put that pressure on, and if they can get, especially putting, they must be putting Pena probably down. I think, and Arnold is going to go as the lone linebacker. And Pena's coming out right now, taking a little short break. Hey, we're at the end of the first quarter here from Almquist Field here, home of the Rock Island Rocks. But tonight, the Alleman Pioneers are the home team, and they lead the Dixon Dukes 6-0. This is Jim Sanders with Mike Strickland, and we'll be right back. We're back here as the Dixon Dukes break the huddle. This is second quarter action. This is TCI, Channel 38, a Family Ties production. Alleman Pioneers lead by 6. Long motion across the formation. Sets up 3 receivers to this near side. Receiver going to go deep. Prazuka throws. Nice defense back there by Matt Franks. He was in perfect position, breaking back to the ball.
I know he wish he had that chance back. He had it in his hands. He had a little room down the sideline. I think he was thinking about the end zone, Coach.
I'll tell you what, it was perfect defense. The only thing, if you catch the ball, it makes it even better. But he covered it deep, and it's one of those plays where Dixon can get right back in the ball game. But they're faced with 3rd and 17 now, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I think Dixon is looking for something to spark their team right now, and they're not sure what they're going to do, but they got to get this first down. It's very crucial.
Well, Alleman did capitalize on a situation like that and got a big first down early there late in the second quarter that set up that touchdown drive. So we'll see. Prazuka back to pass again. Slant across the middle. That wasn't going to gain you 17 yards, I don't think. And we'll just see they're forced into a punting situation. And Alleman's defense has come to play. They gave up a bunch of points last week, but even listening to it on the radio, which, what does that make you? A great sports fan, I suppose. But it seemed like even in that game, Sterling made a lot of big plays, long yardage runs and trick plays and things. But overall, Alleman played halfway decent on defense most of the time.
Well, you know, the big plays are what hurts. I mean, if you have a mental lapse and you let a big play go and let another one go, before you know it, you dig yourself a hole.
Well, a decent punt coming out of this time. The punter, number 2, we don't have his name. We apologize again. Did a nice job. A little left-footed kicker out of there and brought the ball out. They had deep field position there, and they're going to give the ball to Alleman pretty quickly here and give it to him in really good field position. Alleman back to the offense. I'll tell you one thing. We're going to give you some more breaks along the way, but right now the officials are keeping this ball game moving. So Alleman breaks the huddle. They've got Krieger change at fullback right now. Krieger with the ball off tackle. This is going to be a big game. He's off tackle. He's down. Oh, nice tackle out there by Dixon.
Nice tackle on number 20 there. Brennard, he's a good outside linebacker in position, and he's chased down the play, ran him down. Good tackling technique there, getting all the jersey he can get. Hold on for life.
Well, I'll tell you what, because Krieger was gone. He was gone. For Alleman in the backfield right now is John Granite, number 33, playing fullback. He's 6'1", 195. Pena's on the sideline getting a little breather.
Yeah, you got to give your workhorse a break if you want to have him in the fourth quarter. Now I know that Alleman would love to have him in the fourth quarter running hard.
A little swing pass out here, knocked down. Alleman's backfield right now. They've got Krieger in there. Ruthie still at quarterback, doing a nice job. That ball was knocked down there. Granite's playing fullback. Jake Nelson's in that backfield also.
That was good technique by number 63, Jason Pops, getting his hands up and knocking the ball down. That's what all defensive line coaches love to see.
Well, and that's what the offensive coaches are trying to tell them, to keep their hands down. So somebody's going to get talked to. When that film goes tomorrow, somebody's going to say, run it again. And that's the worst thing a lineman wants to hear. Oh, nice defensive play again as Alleman tries to go off tackle that time. Krieger on the carry, but no gain.
Once again, 63 in on the tackle. It looks like he has decided to step up and be the leader for Dixon and get a little fire behind him. This could still be a good game, Coach.
Well, he, like you say, he is coming off the ball real well, making some plays in there, and that's certainly going to help in the long run. Alleman faced with 3rd and 11. Now let's see, it's 4-down territory, obviously, so they need 2 plays here, and they need to come up with first down. Speed option, pitch, Ruthie to Krieger, penalty flags fly. Knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line, and there's a flag in there, and when it comes out of that area, we're probably talking about holding or clipping.
Yeah, that's usually the area where those flags fly, but that was great pursuit by the Dukes. They had 4 guys at him, a little sloppy on the tackling, but they got him out of bounds well before the first down.
Well, this is one of those where it's probably going to set up a 4th down, but I think the Dukes are probably going to take it back. Low block was the call, and of course in football today, I think it's a good rule. You can't get down and chop those legs out from guys. And sometimes obviously you're not doing it on purpose. The guy's either running faster or you leave your feet a little early or something. But the officials need to call that one because that is a tough play, and that's where kids get hurt.
Well, it's just to protect from that serious injury. Knee injuries are career-ending injuries in football, and we try to protect them from getting those every chance we can.
Well, we'll see. Officials are talking to Dixon here for just a minute. That was a speed option for you fans who are kind of joining us, wanting to pick up a little bit on football. If you replay that on your VCR, when the fullback leads and just takes off, the quarterback stands straight up and then runs down the line of scrimmage. That's what we call in football a speed option, and it's that kind of a play where you are trying to get a lead block outside and then pitch the ball to the tailback. With Alleman, they're going to want to pitch the ball all the time. Now, Dixon's going to take a timeout because we got either somebody equipment problem or he's bleeding or something. But we're going to take timeout. We're going to take a break here. This is Family Ties Production. It's Jim Sanders and Mike Strickland. Alleman leads 6-0. Well, that penalty against Pioneers is a spot foul, Mike. So the penalty was down the field a little bit. So it's by Markoff brings it back. So it's a 3rd and 15 for Alleman. The ball marked at the 29-yard line. Ruthie back to pass, but trapped in the backfield. There shouldn't be any reason why a guy is on your quarterback in 4 steps. I don't know. Obviously, that guy's coming off the corner and not getting picked up by somebody.
That was a good play by number 30. I apologize for not having his name. He's not in the program, but it looks like he injured himself on that play.
He made a big hit, but You don't want to go down like that because the officials are going to stop the clock, and then you're going to have to come out. Talk about coming out of the ball game, Mike. We got to look at the sidelines over here. Dixon does not have a whole lot of subs on their sideline.
It looks like they only have maybe an offense and a defense out there.
Well, I'll tell you got 23-4 guys, and that's going to be tough to go against Alleman. Alleman's numbers are obviously bigger than that. Now it's going to force Alleman into a 4th down situation, 4th and 24, and they're going to play the field position game.
Yeah, well, this is a good decision to punt, and let's see if Dixon's offense can do anything. Whoa!
Oh, Arnold's punt is blocked by Dixon. Ball does roll out of bounds, so the field position idea goes out the window as Dixon blocks an Alleman punt.
That was Chris Love, number 40, that got the hand on the ball, getting good pressure on the punter, and just all you need is a deflection. That's it.
Well, I thought, and the thing I thought he did so very well was he went for where the ball was going to go. So many times as coaches we talk to kids about you got to go to where the football, when it leaves his foot, it's going to go out in front of you. It's not going to go back into his body. And yet every game you'll see somebody come flying in, take the kid about in the hips, and that's not where the ball is going to be. So Dixon takes over, first down on their own 39-yard line. Trailing 6-0. We're early in the second quarter. Quick pitch. Nice run outside. Oh, there's a good run. And a broken tackle. Number 20 on the carry that time. Really, really nice run. Lucas Brainerd.
That was a great run by Lucas, cutting back. But number 77, number 62 for Alleman got in there, making the tackles for Mott. And Arnold running downfield and making that tackle. That's great hustle by the Alleman defense.
Plays are being run in from the side. Lots of ways to get plays in the ball game. The first one, obviously, is the quarterback calls them all, and that hardly ever happens. You can run plays in, as Dixon is doing. They're running Eric Anderson, number 80, in the ball game, and Peter Love is coming in and out of the ball game, as the other wide receivers are also. Motion across the formation, I formation. Oh, it's fullback in a face mask, and the ball's loose. Alleman's after it, and it looks like the Pioneers have recovered. Quick toss, hit the fullback right in the helmet.
Well, a little mishap. I don't know if he was pitching it to the fullback or the tailback, but he led the tailback a little too far with that pitch right there.
Well, that's one of those field position things. Alleman didn't give up much. They're going to take over on the 44. One thing we always try to coach our kids, when you run the sweep, two things have to happen. One, the fullback's got to get out of his stance in a hurry and stay low. Secondly, we always want our tailback to hesitate just a little bit, give the fullback a chance to clear. In that case, I think those two guys are lined up right with one another. The fullback ended up being in the way. Oh, Pena on a hard run inside, and the Dixon defense wasn't set.
No, they weren't set. They were moving around, but, they still gave a valiant effort to get in there, but Pena picks up another 6 yards.
That little rest he had there a while ago did him some good. That was a 6-yard gain, as you mentioned, and Alleman's on the move. Plenty of time to score again here in the second quarter. Wide out for Alleman, coming all the way out to this side. We have got Seamus Ahern, number 80, another run up the middle.
It looks like the Alleman offensive line is starting to wear down that Dixon defense, taking pretty good control of the inside tackles and that middle linebacker.
Well, and also they're spreading the defensive secondary out. They're running 2 wide outs or 3 wide outs occasionally, and that really is setting things up. And Alleman's running plays in also with wide receivers. This point in time, they got Chris Mandel. He's a 6'1", 172-pounder. He's playing as a wide receiver. Krager, number 27 here. And you got Franks and Pena in the backfield. Aruthi is the quarterback.
Well, it looks like we have a little delay. The officials talking here, taking a minute to wipe off the ball and set the clock. But these are the times I didn't like as a player. I didn't want to stand around. I was ready to hit somebody.
Especially when you have a drive going. You just soon keep that baby rolling. They got momentum on their side. Alleman's on a roll. That offensive line is really coming off the football right now. Power play off tackle. Franks with the ball. Comes off tackle down to the 20-yard line. Nailed hard at the 20.
Well, it looks like number 20, Branford's going to end up being the leading tackler for the Dukes tonight, and that's really not what you want if you're a defensive coach. You'd rather see those linebackers, or even what would be ideal is if you had a nose tackle or a guard making all those tackles.
Well, if your linebackers are making most of the tackles, that's about what should happen. If those D linemen are making the tackles, you are really stuffing people. Off tackle, Franks with the ball again. Follows his blockers in there real well inside the 15-yard line. Going to mark it as a first down at about the, it looks like about the 13-yard line, Mike.
Yeah, but still another 7-yard pickup, and the Dukes are flying around, but it seems that they're getting to the ball after 6 or 7 yards, and if you continue to let that happen, Alleman will start running away with this game.
Well, in and out of the lineup with the wide receivers again, doing a lot of running kids in, running plays in the ball game now. Alleman's going to go to a wide out to the far side, wing to the far side, split backs, Pena and Franks. Oh, look at this. Krieger on a wing reverse. Krieger on the wing reverse. Faked that ball up inside, gave it to Krieger. The ball handling by Ruthie was beautiful, and a lot of people, including the Dixon defense, didn't know who had the ball.
Well, we have a player down there, number 75, Matt Burton, but he got up and he's headed to the sideline. But that was a wonderful misdirection play, and, you know, the Dukes just couldn't recover.
Well, it was really a great play. They kind of set that up. The wing back had not been a factor other than in the passing game so far. And all of a sudden now you got the Franks is killing you and Pena's killing you, and all of a sudden Krieger's just all by himself.
Exactly, and that gives him a little pub and gives him a little confidence. And I think that was a great call by the Alleman coaches.
Well, Alleman's going to go for 2 after missing the first extra point. They're going to go to 2, trying to get to 14. Second man through. Krieger hard off tackle. Extra point is good, but a flag is down. We'll wait to see what that's going to be about.
Well, it falls in that area of holding there, Coach. It might have been something like that.
Well, Mike, you're an offensive lineman your whole career, even though you keep telling me you'd have been a great tight end or maybe a fullback. But I've got fans out there. I know when our teams were on a roll there, and you played on the last team that I had a chance to coach, and people sometimes thought we held. Now, you can clear the air right now and tell everybody just exactly the truth.
Okay.
Remember, I'm sitting right next to you.
Okay. It's only holding when you get caught.
There you go. Okay, we're ready to move on to action here. I have my cousin's son is playing football over at Urbana, and we were at a funeral this last weekend for my uncle, and I told him he's a center, and I gave him that good advice. You know, get in there, get a hold of something, and if you hear the cloth tear, let go. That was one of those advice I gave him. He looked at me kind of funny. Ruthie back to pass, flooding the area. Oh, a nice throw by Ruthie. 2-point conversion out there. Beautiful catch by the tight end, Nate Brandt. From Ruthie, the 2-point extra point, and Alleman leads 14-0.
After the penalty, that was a great call to come back, go for the 2 still. It gives your offense confidence. I think the Pioneers are riding a real high wave right now.
Well, they did a nice job. Let's take a short break here. It's 14-0, 7:45. Alleman's looking to go more and more ahead as this second quarter develops. We'll be right back. Well, we're back here, and Alleman has just taken a 14-0 lead, Mike, as Alleman begins to go back on defense and kick off.
Looking real strong. Mr. Arnold to do the kicking again. Nice squib kick again down the middle.
Number 21 picks that ball up back there. That's Kyle Whitson trying to find a gap, but there are a lot of green shirts in on that one.
After a good kick, Mr. Arnold gets down there and makes the initial hit and looks real good.
Well, I'll tell you, that's he's a tough linebacker. We've watched him play, and you're going to enjoy him. I tell you, Western Big Six football hasn't changed a lot. It's still a contact league, so you're going to kind of enjoy watching these games. And you get the Allemans, the UTs, and the Molines and the Rock Islands, and they're not too fancy football, Mike. Things haven't changed that much.
Well, you know, if you can run the ball and it works, why pass?
There you go. But you've been brainwashed, though. Here we go. The Dukes take over to their own 27-yard line. Big line splits out there now. Maybe we're trying to spread Alleman out a little bit. Prazuka, tight end dump. Wide open. The Dukes on a little move out to the 45, 47-yard line that time. It's like the tight end that time, Nate Henry, number 99. He's 6'2", 185-pounder. Made a nice catch.
Well, the safeties had to converge on the big guy there, number 89, and that was a good catch. A little momentum builder. That's what the Dukes are looking for.
Well, running in the ball game with the play from the sideline. Number 3 is Peter Love. And we'll see. They went to the pass. We talked about that dumb pass earlier, and he wasn't running wide open. I'll say that. He was covered.
No, that was a pretty good toss by the quarterback, but see, he's a big target, so gave him a lot to shoot at. We're back into the 6-1 defense for Alleman.
Wide receivers, here comes that. Last time they ran this, they went away from this motion. Going to flood this area out here. It's going to be a tough catch out here. Flood pattern, very similar to what Alleman ran down for their 2-point extra point, trying to flood an area, try to get one man isolated on 2 receivers.
Morlock with the pressure there. Good pressure by number 76. Messed up the timing again. If you can mess up those passing timing, it helps the defense tenfold.
Yeah, it's a good play there. It sets up a 2nd and 10, but it's a very important series. 6 minutes, 59 seconds to go here. The clock is not running after the incomplete pass, and we're looking at if Dixon can make a drive here and get themselves on the scoreboard before halftime, we've got ourselves a brand new ball game. But 2nd and 10, the ball at the 46-yard line. The Dukes their own 46-yard line. Quarterback play didn't look like that's supposed to look like that, Mike.
No, it looked like a little miscommunication between the quarterback and number 31, the fullback. Went the wrong way, and sometimes that happens.
And no question about that. But boys, nothing worse. If you ever played quarterback, you turn around and ride the air. And I'll tell you, nobody buys that fake. When you lay that ball out there in the air and nobody takes it, why, you're not going to fool a whole lot of people. And all the green shirts went right to the ball from that point. 3rd down, lost 2 yards on that, so we'll call it 3rd down and 12.
Well, it looks like Alleman keeps changing their defensive fronts. It looks like they went back to the 4-4 defense now, 4 down linemen and 4 linebackers.
This is a prevent, kind of a pass defense. Alleman for years have done a really nice job with that. That's not going to gain you 1st down, I'll guarantee you. Those linebackers will hang back there and give you a headache.
Number 62 again, number 31, Tony Gonzo, and Mr. Arnold again in on the tackle.
Well, that sets up 4th down and 11 again, and we're not critical of high school coaches or anybody. I pick on the Bears as much as anybody else, but that's the one thing that, because I didn't like to pass anyway, but that's the one thing that drives me crazy. You got 3rd down and 12, and you throw the ball 2 yards down the field. I might as well run it if I'm going to do that. If I'm going to go 3rd and 12, I'm going to throw at least 12 yards down the field. That makes only good sense to me.
Well, that's true. You try to get that 1st down with that pass. Dropping it off short, you got to have a real creative receiver and to make that.
Looks like a little holding going on back here on the wide out. The ball's going to roll dead down here. Nice punt that time down to the 12-yard line. We got a penalty flag down here at the 33 or 34-yard line, and we're going to get a holding penalty against Alleman. It's going to be a penalty that will be marked off. I don't believe Dixon's going to get that ball back because it was after the ball was punted.
No, I think it'll be after where the ball was touched down, but we'll wait and see what the officials say. They got the official word for us, Coach.
We're going to see, though. Dixon's walking one way, and the Alleman guys are going the other. So we'll see what they want to do with this now. I just don't think that Dixon's going to get the ball back. They call that a low block, though, and that's a 15-yard penalty, clipping actually. Giving the captain their options now. 99 is the captain. That's Nate Henry, and he's kind of talking to him about what do you want to do with this thing.
Well, the officials are real good at going to the players, explaining their options, letting them know what's going on so they can make an informed decision.
Yep. But what we say while we interpret the rules, it looks like they're going to mark this penalty off against Alleman, and Dixon's going to get a 1st down out of this thing.
Well, that's a big break for Dixon Dukes, and that's another thing they're looking for. Those breaks help. Maybe they can get something together and put the ball in the end zone this rip.
Well, I'll tell you, and I think there's not a lot of difference in the physicalness of both of these teams, but right now Alleman's playing with so much confidence and intensity that it looks like a mismatch, but I'm not sure it is. And you give Dixon a couple breaks like this, who knows what might happen. Yeah,
it's very easy to get back in the game with a couple opportunities like this. Number 5's been throwing the ball well. He could be throwing it again here.
Fullback's going to go in motion. Had a little offset eye that time. Sweep this way. Got fullback out of the way. That's one way to get him out of the way. Turns the corner. Nice run. And at the boundary, knocked out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Nice run. That's right. Excellent run to the boundary by Brannert.
Well, Brannert, he ran real good over here. I would like to see him sell out a little more, but he tiptoed into the last 2-3 yards of that play, Coach.
I did like the way, though, back at about the 40-yard line, he kind of turned it up the field and kind of made that last 5-yard gain out of that because he made the Alleman defenders freeze, and then he was able to get to the boundary.
That's true. That's true. But
we always talk to the kids about, don't run yourself right out of bounds right off the bat. So we'll see what happens. The Dixon Dukes gains 8 yards on that play. It's 2nd down and 2. Pro I formation to the far side. Tailback on the ball with the ball. Brennert again turns the corner. He got nice speed. Turns the corner inside the 30 this time. We'll see where they mark it. Down about. It's going to be a first down. It's inside the 30-yard line. Beautiful run that time.
Yeah, Jake Nelson in on the tackle. That was a great run. When he ran backwards, I kind of cringed a little bit. That's not what you want to see your running back do, but with the speed he has, I think that the coach is very happy with that play.
I'll tell you, the way the Alleman's pursuing, that's a play that can help you because, with the intensity they're playing at right now, once that guy headed in the middle of the line, there are a lot of green shirts heading for that pile.
True. It looks like the Dukes are trying to run the Alleman defense down, get them a little tired here. Alleman's back into that 6-1 defense, going to give a little pressure.
Offset eye. Oh, look at this run. Brainerd, he could go. Frank's the only guy that's got a chance. Inside the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Brainerd on the run. Beautiful run by Lucas Brainerd, a 6-foot, 185-pound running back. And Alleman looked like they were going to tackle the quarterback before he handed the ball off. But, man, Frank's did a nice job out there fighting off the defender, but wasn't able to make the play.
Well, that's one of those big plays we were talking about, Coach. It looked like Alleman had everything going their way. They came with the pressure. He was on the quarterback, and, Brainerd slipped right through there, and that was a great play.
Yeah, good play. They're going to set up. The Duke's going to set up to kick the extra point. Number 2 is going to kick the extra point. We still don't know what this young man's name is. The holder is going to be Peter Love. He's a two-way starter for them, a cornerback and as a wide receiver, left-footed kicker. We'll see how the whole thing works. You talk about you got to block, you got to snap it, you got to hold it well. It's high snap. Love is tackled in the backfield. You got to try to get rid of it maybe? No. It's no good. That snap was a little high and wasn't able to handle that. And with 4:38 to go here in the second quarter, the Dixon Dukes are on the scoreboard. Our score is 14-6. We'll be right back with second quarter action in just a minute. Now we're back here, Mike. That was quite a series of plays there for the Dukes.
Well, the Dukes had a couple breaks like we talked about and a couple big plays, but I think the biggest thing was Brainerd running from sideline to sideline, wore your linebackers out.
The 13 this time for Alleman. Look at this. He could go. Oh, big break up the middle for Alleman. Jake Nelson is going to go all the way. Touchdown, Alleman. Jake Nelson took the kick, made a great break into the secondary there, got by the last defender, and outran everybody from Dixon. What a big play.
Breaks like we talked about and a couple big plays, but I think the biggest thing was Brainerd running from sideline to sideline, wore your linebackers out.
The 13 this time for Alleman. Look at this. He could go. Oh, big break up the middle for Alleman. Jake Nelson is going to go all the way. Touchdown, Alleman. Jake Nelson took the kick, made a great break into the secondary there, got by the last defender, and outran everybody from Dixon. What a big play.
Yep, Chris Love was the last man that had a shot at him, dove a little early, but he made a great attempt. But that was just a great run back by Alleman.
Well, I was just getting ready to mention briefly that Alleman has to find a way to get the momentum back. I didn't think they were going to get it back that quickly, Mike, but what a great return. I think it'd be good to watch something like that on film. Obviously, a lot of good blocks up front.
Yeah, it was great, but to me, that's Western Six big football right there. We did that many years when I played here.
Well, the extra point kick now. Lair is going to kick. Franks will hold. Good snap. Good hold. Kick is much better this time. It's up, and it is good. And Alleman builds their lead to 21-6 with 4:25 to go. And we're going to take another short break. This is Jim Sanders and Mike Strickland. John Medina is on our camera, and we're having a nice time here. I want to mention real quickly what a beautiful facility we have here at Rock Island now. We've talked a lot about the field. We're in a press box. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So we appreciate that and appreciate all Alleman and Rock Island do for us. So we'll be right back.
And we're back here at the Alleman football game, and we have a new kicker now. Arnold May got a little dinged up, and Ben Leard is going to take over the kicking responsibilities for the Alleman Pioneers.
And this kick is, again, a kind of a squib kick rolling towards the boundary. He's going to go out of bounds. And Dixon's going to get good field position again. 4:25 to go. It seems like we've been in these fours for quite a while, Mike, and a lot of points have gone on the board.
Well, yeah, it only takes a few seconds for us to score some points here, and it looks like Alleman decided they wanted some momentum back and they wanted to take control.
Yeah, and they did. And we'll just see now. Of course, we're going to have to go back and see if the game plan that Alleman Dixon has decided to go with the sweeps and running them sideline to sideline. We'll continue and see if that has any bearing as we go along here. So the legal procedure is the penalty. And they have the option of taking the ball out of bounds, have them kick it again, a 5-yard penalty or whatever, and they're going to take the ball at the 35-yard line. Dixon has the ball. Prazuka is the quarterback. Fullback back there is all set up, ready to go. I formation, motion this way. Tailback keeper up the middle this time. Going to try to see if they've shifted to the outside, Mike.
Yeah, testing to see where the defense is at and see if they're still ready. You know, one of the things about that kickoff is great to get those points, but it puts your defense right back on the field. Well,
that's an excellent point there. We're going to take a look out there and see what kind of substitutions that they might have made, Alleman might have made, because we know that Arnold's one of their 2 linebackers. So Pena's calling the signals. We'll see who else is in there at linebacker for Alleman. They may go to the 6-1. Or they could be in that 4-4. It looks like 50 this time. Who we got in there with?
60. Looks like Nick Dole is taking over.
Okay, number 60. Nick Dole will be the other linebacker in there for Arnold. I formation for the Dixon Dukes. Straight drop back pass. Swing. Good coverage. Missed tackle out there by Alleman. A nice cut back in there. Beautiful job. That could be close to a first down that time. Beautiful run by Brainerd, calling his name a lot.
We have Pena running off the field. He may be injured, holding his arm kind of funny, but here comes Arnold, so Arnold must be all right.
Looks like they're going to take a shot also, and we may see in here again very quickly number 33. That's John Granite. He looked like he was ready to fly in the ball game if they needed him. He's played a little fullback, if you remember, right here in this ball game already. But big third down play now. 3 minutes to go. Dixon's got a couple timeouts left, so they've got an opportunity here, but they need to get the first down. Again, motion across the formation. The secondary rotates up. Nice job of rotating up there. Oh, big hit.
Arnold with an excellent hit. He took a little break. Now he's ready to get after him. That's beautiful.
Well, Brainerd at that time did made a nice cutback move. The Alleman secondary with the motion rotated over and set up against that sweep and did a nice job. And looks like the Dukes are going to punt the ball away.
Well, it's the field position game again. If they could get him back down here and maybe get Alleman to make a mistake, they'll cut down the field. You know, the guy that wins the field position usually wins the game.
Well, our man is back here again. They don't want to kick that ball to Jake Nelson, I don't think. 85 is back there with Jake. That's Adam McGinnis. A punt formation here. This little guy does a nice job after dropping that first one. Nelson, fair catch. Nice catch at the 25-yard line, and Alleman's going to take over. We're late here in the first half. 2 minutes and 1 second to go. We'll be right back in just a minute. We're back here, 1st and 10, right in front of our position here at Rocky Stadium. We'll see those linemen come off the ball. Second man through, Franks on the carry. Good pursuit that time by Dixon.
It looks like Dixon's made some adjustments to their defense. It's still basically the college 4-3, but they're bringing one linebacker up on the end of the line of scrimmage now.
Well, I'm trying to look out there, and again, it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Granite's playing fullback, number 33. Coming into the ball game is number 80, Seamus Ahern. Seamus is a 6'4", 161-pounder. We got Franks in the backfield. We got wing-back reverse. We haven't seen that one in a little while. Here it comes right now. We got a little holding going on in there. The beautiful block out there. Might have held a little bit. Wing-back reverse by Krieger.
That was a good read by Nick Barnes to get over and make that tackle. That was the same play that they got burned on for the first touchdown.
Well, nice job by Dixon. We got a timeout on the field. Dixon's going to try to make Alleman punt the ball away. It'll be 3rd and 8 when we come right back. So we got some great ball games ahead for you. Next week, I think our plan is to do the UT Chicago South Shore ball game, and then that should, I'm not sure where we're going to go from there, but we got some big games that following week. UT plays Rock Island at UT, but we'll see what happens. We'll be back with the last 1 minute, 18 seconds of the first half in just a minute. Well, we'll see if the strategy that Dixon wants to use here and using a timeout to see if they can force Alleman to punt, it only works if you play good defense, Mike.
Well, that's true, but I think Dixon's ready. You know, they got everybody up at the line of scrimmage.
Option play, inside veer. Ball, the pitch is behind. Oh, my. Almost a huge play. The pitch from Ruthie was behind the pitch man, and We've got another timeout being called by Dixon. Again, using their last timeout with 1:06. They're going to get the ball back, Mike.
Well, Coach, that's a big play. You know, they lost a good 6-7 yards in that play. Backs them up a little bit. That means the punt is going to be a little shorter. They might have a chance at a return.
Well, Arnold's in there to do the kicking, and we remember we've had a block punt already. Actually, we've had 2 block punts, one for each team so far. We're going to stay with it right now, Mike. We again talking about non-conference play, and of course the importance of the playoffs and winning your non-conference games. You can get out of your first 3 games in the Western Big Six at 3-0. You know, it really helps. Again, Alleman's looking at their 0-1, a win here, 1-1. They've got Geneseo next week. That's a tough battle. That'll be a tough ball game. Although Galesburg, and you picked Galesburg, by the way, if you remember right, over Peoria, Notre Dame.
Yes,
Did I tell you I used to coach down in Peoria down there, and I used to coach at what was Spalding and then Bergen and Spalding Bergen. Now it's Notre Dame. Tough kids down there. But I didn't tell you all that in the car, did I?
No, you skipped over that, Coach.
I'm always looking for an edge if I can. Well, looks like we're going to change punters now. Is that Jake Nelson back here, number 13? I think it is going to punt. Arnold has been I think he's been punting, has he not?
Yes.
Well, let's see what Dixon's going to do. They got 1 guy deep. We'll see if they're going to try to hold him up or whether they're going to try to put big pressure on. It's 4th down, 17 to go, and the ball is at the Alleman 18-yard line. Yeah, we got a coach's discussion down here. We got a question, and we're talking about it. Well, let's, while they're talking this thing over, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back. 1:06, still 1:06 to go, and we'll be back in just a minute. Well, here we go, and they're putting 8 men, 9 men, 10 men up, 9 men on the line of scrimmage. Here come the Dukes. Up, almost blocked. You're going to get a roughing the kicker. It's a big gamble, but it's worth it. If you get it, fine. If you don't, running into the kicker is a 10-yard penalty. Better stay right there, boys. Better stay right there, chain crew. There's a penalty flag down. We'll get a look. And running into the kicker, roughing the kicker, it's going to be an automatic first down. But that's a good gamble, Mike.
Yeah, at the end of the half, you have to go for it. But it looked like number 55 for the Dukes, Mr. Taylor, just kind of tackled the punter. You know, like he missed the ball, and the ball is what he needs to be after.
Well, the hardest part of that is if you're coming especially straight up the middle, is being able to stop and jump straight up in the air. And that's very, very difficult to do. But it's going to be a first down for Alleman, running into the kicker. The ball will be marked out about the 35-yard line, near the 35. It'll be 1st and 10, 1 minute to go. Here in the second quarter, Alleman with the ball. Coming out of the huddle, Wood out of the huddle. Ruthie at quarterback. Wingback is Jake Nelson, fullback. Got to get a look in there. Granite to fullback. Nelson on the counter. Nice play out there.
Chris Love, that linebacker, staying at home, making a great play, only a yard or 2 gain.
Well, you mentioned earlier about this college 4-3, and earlier I think, especially setting up the one long run, I really think the straight dive had pulled those linebackers in so tight. I don't think they're honoring that straight dive play as much anymore.
Well, with Pena out of the game, and I'm not sure, I don't see him on the sideline, there's no real threat at that straight dive right now.
Well, we'll see how Alleman does. There's 27 seconds to go here. Dixon's out of timeout, so we'll see. Oh, nice run. Franks could break it. He's at the 40. Oh, my, the 44-yard line. Tackled. Nice. That's probably a touchdown-saving tackle.
Well, Brennert made another tackle. You know, like I said, he may be the leading tackler when the game's all over.
You know you're not going to win many games, but he is your leading tackler. Alleman does call a timeout. We'll take a short break here. 19 seconds to go. Alleman threatens to score again here, and they lead 21-6. Now we're back here. 19 seconds to go, and Alleman just comes out of a timeout. Got the play call from Dana Just on the sideline. Wide receiver out here is Krieger. Back to pass. Going to go isolation out there, one-on-one. Receiver Jake Nelson. Nice defensive play back there.
That was a great defensive play by number 80, Mr. Anderson, but it looked like the Alleman receiver had to turn into a little defender there at the end of that play.
I thought he did a nice job out there too. Nelson, who's obviously got some really good speed and some good moves, but I was very impressed with the defensive backs move. As soon as that receiver's head went up, he turned and looked right back at that ball, and he became wide open at that point in time. And Nelson did a nice job. So Ruthie on the straight drop back pass that time, incomplete. Sets up a 2nd and 10 with 14 seconds to go. Ahern coming wide to the near side. Tight end to the to the far side of the field. That's Brandt.
Alleman just called a timeout. Alleman just called a timeout on the field. Coach didn't see something that he didn't like, so he's pulling them over to talk to the whole squad right now.
Well, we'll be back. We have 14 seconds to go in the first half. We're back. 14 seconds to go here, Mike. It's Jim Sanders, Mike Strickland, John Medina on the camera. We're nearly at halftime here. Alleman leads 21-6. Ruthie, straight drop back. Looks to throw. Goes up top. Jake Nelson, nice catch. Tackled inbounds at the 20-yard line. They're going to keep the clock running, but it's a first down, so that's going to stop the clock with 6 seconds to go.
Well, yeah, that was a beautiful pattern there. Nice throw. And, you know, Alleman came up with a big play there. Now they're in scoring position. They can put some more points on the board with 6 seconds left.
Well, timeout again for Alleman. We're back. See if they can punch that ball in from the 20. Well, Alleman's going to set up for a field goal here with 6 seconds to go. Ben Lair is going to attempt the field goal. The ball's going to be placed down at about the 27-yard line. That makes it a 37-yard field goal. Thus far, the 2 times he's kicked the ball, he hasn't shown that kind of a leg, but you don't come out here and allow. Kelsey Franks was a quarterback. Watch the fake.
Okay, we'll see.
Oh, nice leg into it. Going to be a little short. And, oh, we got a roughing here maybe. You can rough the holder, same as you can rough the kicker. So we're going to have one untimed down here, and Alleman's going to get about a 10-yard penalty. So now he may be in field goal range.
Yeah, he may be. You know, the half cannot end on a defensive penalty, so they're going to bring him back out and at least give him one more shot at that.
Well, he hit the ball pretty hard. Now, you talk about you move him another 10 yards, and he gets a little better snap in that leg. Who knows what might happen. So we'll see. And the difference between, obviously, 21-6 and 24-6 makes a big difference.
Oh, it makes a big difference. Changes the whole strategy for the Alleman coaches coming out in the second half.
And it makes it a 3-score game for Dixon to end up being ahead in the ball game. It takes 2 8s to get to 24. Alleman could already have 24. So it makes a difference. Go back to talking about that pass play a moment ago. Ruthie obviously threw a much better ball. He also had a lot more time.
Well, the linemen, it seems, gave him the time he needed, and they moved their feet and stayed in front of their men. Dixon may be a little tired at this point, too, with only 23, 24 players. You know, you got to have them well conditioned to go a whole game.
Well, the kick again. That kick's blocked this time. And they're picking the ball up down around the 5-yard line, trying to bring that baby out. Obviously, time has run out, but that field goal kick that time by Ben Lair was blocked. It started off real low. We'll be back here to talk about the first half and talk about what might happen in the second. We're going to take a short break here. We're at halftime. It's 21-6. Alleman leads Dixon. This is Jim Sanders with Mike Strickland, John Medina. It's the Family Ties Production, Channel 38, TCI. We'll be right back. Back here, we got a little power outage here. Luckily, we have a full moon tonight, so it's going to be bright enough. There's one standard lights on our side that's not on. Back here, Nelson receives the kick, gets in that wedge again. Let's see if it happens twice in the same game. Nelson out hard out to about the 34, 35-yard line. The market at 34, and Alleman will take over.
Well, the second half's on its way. It's a little dark on the field. One of the lights went down, but I think they decided to go on. First half was a little long, but a lot of good football in that first half.
Well, there was. We had, 21-6 on the scoreboard. So we apologize if this is going a little long. There's a lot of football and a lot of people watching this out there. We hope there are. And again, we always talk about this. Let us know if what you see is what you really like to see. If you have some comments, get in touch with us. We'll do what we can. Pena's back in the ball game and carries that ball off tackle for 3 or 4 yards. So evidently his looked like a shoulder. And our guess up here was some kind of a stinger where you knock that shoulder down a little bit.
True. Well, they made a couple modifications to the college 4-3. I see they moved a couple safeties up to give them a little more run support on the outside, and they're stacking those 3 linebackers on the inside. It may be a little harder for Pena to pick up that 6-7 yards this half.
They're sealing off the off-tackle play pretty good, and it gives him a running lane out there, but a little crack-back block. Oh, Krieger with the carry out to about the 40-yard line, but another big hit. And I'll tell you right now, Dixon's kids are playing real hard.
Yeah, they are. They're a pretty scrappy group, and like we mentioned earlier, there's not very many of them, so the ones that are playing real hard.
We talked about that briefly earlier, but they have, by our count, about 6 young men that are going both ways, at least to start the ball game. Alleman, I think, had 5.
Yeah, that's true. And well, as a player, I loved going both ways. It was a total motivator, but you get a little winded.
Every once in a while. Nelson in motion. Pass, flood pattern. Ruthie had a little time to throw the ball that time, which is the first, especially on the play action stuff. He had some time late in that first half in the drop back setting, but that's the first time I think he's had a chance to throw.
Yeah, on the play action, and I think he still rushed it just a little bit, got a little nervous, didn't get his feet set, but they'll work that out, I'm sure.
Well, I think that's a situation. Alleman's going to have to punt the ball away. It's 4th down now, 4th and about 4. The ball at the 40, your own 40-yard line. Nelson will be back to kick this thing away. And deep, there's our friend back there, number 20 back there. That's Lucas Brainerd, and he's been a one-man show for them offensively.
Yes, he has. He's been carrying the load. I think he'll continue to do it this time.
Short punt, angling towards the sideline, going to bounce over there. It's getting a little dark. There's a little more difficulty finding the marker, but it's inside the 40-yard line somewhere.
That was a smart punt there, Coach. They kicked it away from Brainerd. I think they're noticing that, you know, he is the speedster on the team.
Well, you know, take as many touches. You know, if you're Dixon, you want him to touch the ball a lot. If you're Alleman, you want to take as many touches away as you can.
That's true. That's true. The less he touches the ball for Alleman, the better they are.
No question about that. Well, Dixon's got the ball now coming out here, starting the second half. They held on defense. Now we'll see if they can move the ball on offense. They got the ball at their own 34-yard line. Motion outside, Brainerd, motion outside. Well, a little trap up on the inside, but it fooled everybody, I think, except the Alleman guys.
Well, it was a good trap. It looked like the lineman kind of missed his block, and the fullback, he didn't see his course. And, well, number 77, Vermont.
Oh, Fromelt, yeah, Brandon Fromelt. Yeah, he's been a good player for them from the get-go.
It looks like there's a penalty on the play. They're marking off some yardage. Must have been holding. It looks about 10 yards right there, Coach.
Well, and that hurts when you're having a little trouble moving the ball to begin with. And then secondly, if it's a holding penalty in your own backfield, it's not only 10, but it's 10 from that spot. So this has opened up a long first down and 24. And if you're Dixon, this is not something. These are not the situations you want to get yourself into.
Well, but if you're going to have 24 yards to go, might as well be on first down.
There we go. Coming out of the huddle now. We'll see if the Dixon Dukes can make some things happen here. Prashuka is the quarterback. Burns is the fullback. Brainerd is the tailback in this offense. Straight drop back pass, flood pattern, wide open out here. Nice throw out here to Peter Love. Picked up about 8 or 9 of those yards, and that's a start.
That was a very good play for Franks to force him out of bounds, not to give him a whole lot of yardage. He picked up some good yardage on that. Looks like Alleman's gone back to their base defense of 5 linemen and 2 linebackers. So they're just playing it pretty evenly right now.
Well, take a look at that Alleman defense. They've done some good things, and they're going to have to. Again, they have about 5 guys going both ways. Of course, you're looking at some, you know, not necessarily dirty jerseys because this field is in such great shape. They're more sweaty, I guess, than the ones standing on the sidelines. But it sets up now a second down and 15. So they picked up 9 yards on that first down play. Prashuka back to pass again. Down the middle, look out. Oh, almost caught, penalty coming. I think somebody had him by the arm, Mike.
I think so. I think number 85 got a little overzealous and grabbed his arm there. But that's a big play, that penalty there. That's going to move the ball and possibly give him a shot at getting very close to a first down.
Well, and I think, you know, you talk about a penalty along the way there, and McGinnis is the player. He's a corner. Adam was called for, probably the one who was called for that. But I tell you what, if he hadn't grabbed him by the arm, we're maybe looking at 6 points.
Yeah, that's true. So, you know, it's a toss-up. Was it a good penalty or bad penalty? Well, I'll take it.
Yeah, I think most of the coaches would, and the coaches from Alleman were, I mean, maybe didn't think the penalty actually occurred, but I think they also, when they watch the film, will probably get a good look at the fact that could have been 6 real quick. Mike Prazuka did a beautiful job of laying that ball out there, and our boy Lucas Brainerd found a way to get open, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Well, motion back across the formation again. Love on motion. Prazuka back to pass. Out and up coming. Looking deep. Franks on a great defensive play.
Franks wasn't looking at the sideline or down the field this time. He kept his eyes on the ball, made a great interception, turned the ball over.
Well, you've got to also do some stuff with your offense. They ran the out, and the guy was wide open. But the out and up wasn't going to be there. But we're going to change the possession here. We'll be right back in just a minute. Alleman's going to take over. 9:43 to go here in the third quarter. Yeah. We're back to action. Alleman takes over now. Ball at their own 32-yard line. Offensive unit looks pretty much the same. Pena at fullback. Pena's going to carry that ball. Nice job. Good fake that time by Krieger coming off tackle. And there's some bodies gathering around him.
Yeah, there are. But at the same time, it looks like the Dukes have switched up their defense, going to a more 6-1 stop. They're trying to stop that inside run so they don't get beat up.
Well, Alleman has not hurt them outside. A couple option plays, a speed option once, dive option once, have not been very effective. The counter was good a couple times there. We'll see how that goes. We got equipment timeout. Let's take a short break while we fix this chin strap. Okay, Alleman comes out of the huddle after a short break there to fix a chin strap for Dixon. Oh, well, Alleman goes on 2, and that's a disciplined ball club's able to do that. And why not take 5 yards if they're going to give it to you?
Hey, 5 free yards, and I'll take it.
It was a good decision there. You're coming off a little delay a little bit. Dixon's pretty fired up right now. The defensive lineman got an early jump and was called for being offside. Sets up a second down and less than a yard now for Alleman. And they'll come out of the huddle again with Franks as a running back, Pena as the fullback, Krieger as the wing. Good looking offense. Nate Brandt playing the tight end position. Nice hard run up the inside there for another first down for Alleman. Alleman's starting to kind of dominate the line of scrimmage again. Franks on the carry.
Once again, they're beating up the A gaps on the Dukes here, and with one linebacker in the middle there, it's hard to cover both those A gaps.
You know, Ahern's coming in the ball game. Let's take a look at that offensive line for Alleman right now. The right tackle is from Melt, number 77. Next to him, we got number 66 is Chris Jones. Woods is center. We'll get the guys on the other side here in just a minute. I know Nate Hurst is a tackle on that far side. And 75 is up in there. That's Matt Burton. Another nice gain. Another first down for Alleman.
Yes, Alleman still running that workhorse right up the middle. I tell you, if you can't stop it, why change it?
Well, this is the time, too, you want to get in and out of the huddle in a hurry. Alleman's hustling that play in the ball game. And just keep churning away. 8:14 to go here.
Well, I think at this point, the Alleman coaches are looking at controlling the clock. Run the ball, keep the clock running. Let's get this game over with.
Tight line splits. Second man through. Franks on the run. There's a clip out there. You're going to call that. That's hurt you. That one hurts you. You got a block in the back out there. Franks makes a nice cut. He's going to get about 5, 6, 7 yards. But now there's going to be a 10-yard penalty, and that's going to hurt.
Well, that's not what we'd like to see, but at the same time, it was a kid just trying to get his block. Maybe he should have let it go. It's a judgment call. Football is a thinking man's game.
Well, it was an aggressive play, and I'd much rather see a kid do that than to stand there and watch people all day long. So, but again, you just got to, as you develop into the offensive scheme, you got to realize, hey, if I'm the wide out, and if that defensive man on the snap of the ball goes flying inside of me, I'm never going to block him. Now I got other options. I can go on down, maybe pick off somebody farther inside. Then if the guy makes one cut, I seal it off, we score a touchdown. But that guy's no longer available to me.
That's true. That's true. But once again, give him a couple more weeks of practice, and I think those things will come natural.
Counter. If he gets through, Krieger could go. Down inside the 45-yard line. Looks like down to about the 43, maybe. The Dixon 43. And another nice run. It wasn't as wide open as it's been before, but it was still wide open enough to get a nice gain there.
Well, Coach, at this point, it looks like the dive forward and the counter are the bread and butter for the Alleman Pioneers, and they're running them pretty well. They're executing that play very well.
Well, the theory, and I think for a lot of the coaches in the Western Big Six, been that way for a long time. Run a few things very, very well, and get those linemen coming off the ball. And you linemen like just getting off the ball and blocking somebody. You don't want 19 different schemes and things like that. Oh, Jake Nelson comes off tackle, moves the ball down fairly close to the 36-yard line, looks like, and they're picking up quite a bit of yardage off that penalty.
Yeah, well, you know, they get the penalty, they run a couple counters, one side to the other, and they picked up the penalty back. Now they're within a 3rd down and 5. That's makeable.
Yep. And they're down, like I say, near the 35, which could make this 4-down area. As long as they don't lose yardage on this play, they'll probably go for it on 4th down. They got Nelson as the wingback. Ahern is split wide to the right. Pena inside with the football, runs hard up inside, running towards the 30-yard line. This is going to be very close. It's going to be very close, but not a 1st down.
Well, Coach, just like I said, that's a makeable 3rd down, and they're giving it back to the workhorse. He's been making them 4 or 5 yards every time they run it up the hole. You know, that was an excellent call, I think, by the Alleman coaches.
Well, you know, sometimes as coaches, and I'll go back when I was coaching too, sometimes we'll go into a game and we'll try too many things. I know Alleman would like to be a little bit of an option ball club and things like that, but personnel-wise, they're much better at doing what they are right now, and that's basically a 3-play offense. You're talking about a fullback dive, a 2nd man off tackle, and a counter. And if you can do those and get off the football, you can move the ball all day. 1st man through, 2nd man through. There it is. Breaks off tackle. Krager down to about the 20-yard line, and very close to, I think we got another 1st down.
Well, that's good running by Alleman. I mean, like I said earlier, it looks like their strategy is to eat up the clock, run the ball. If you can't stop the run, there's no need to change it.
Well, I know as a quarterback, some of our quarterbacks got a little frustrated occasionally about throwing the ball and doing things like that. We always had some plays in our offense where the quarterbacks could carry the football, and they did real well. But tell the story one time with Jeff Skillett. We used to ask him in the pregame warm-up if he was warmed up. You know, he threw a lot of passes in pregame warm-up. He said it doesn't make much difference. He said it's going to be, he's wide open. He said it's going to be the second half if I ever throw one anyway, so it doesn't make any difference when I'm warmed up now or not, and it's probably true, you know. But here Alleman comes out with a 1st down and 10, goes play action, trying to strike quickly.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good set. They had 2 men open at that time. And the quarterback, I'm not sure exactly which one he was aiming for. He kind of threw it in the middle, but it looked like it's a play that they could stick away and come back to here in a few minutes.
Well, especially when you go and we talk about preparing yourself for the wars in the Western Big Six. Even if you are coming off the football, you can't always churn that ball down the field against the Moline, the Rock Islands, the UTs, and of course we're talking about Alleman right now. And so consequently, you've got to gain, and hit a play action pass. So we're not, that's, you know, here when they're moving well, and it looks like maybe that wasn't the world's greatest call. On the other hand, we got guys running wide open, and you got scouts here from UT, you got scouts here from Geneseo. You got to at least believe you're going to throw that ball once in a while. So let's see what Alleman does here. They have a 1st down and 15. The ball is at the 25-yard line. There's that counter again. Jake Nelson comes off tackle, brings that ball down near the 20-yard line, marking it about the 21.
That was a good tackle by Barnes and Chris Love converging on the tackle. It was a short gain that time, a lot shorter than we're used to seeing off that play.
Well, that's one adjustment we got to give Dixon credit for. After getting burned by that play early, they seemed like they pretty well shut that down. I mean, if you run a counter play, you're hoping, I think, to get more than a 3-yard gain.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely hoping that you can get 5, 6, 7 yards on those type of plays because it's a misdirection play. You want to get people going one way and break it back.
Krager off tackle and then outside and cuts it back inside and drives down. That's inside the 10-yard line. That's going to be another 1st down, Mike.
Well, Krager, the end of that run was very impressive. He fought for a couple extra yards, and those extra 2, 3 yards is what a coach is really happy in seeing.
Well, and, you know, as you look at that play, and I wasn't watching as closely off tackle, but either A, Dixon is walking people off to the split inside. That's one option. Or B, Alleman is doing a tremendous job of sealing that play off inside because there's actually nobody out there when the time comes. So we'll have to see that as we go along. The ball's on the 9-yard line, Mike. 1st down. Pena with the ball, churning up inside, line blocking real hard, falling forward, in and around the 7-yard line, it looks like.
At this point, the Dixon Dukes have been on the field, the defense, for quite a while, so I'm sure that they're sucking a little gas. They don't have a whole lot of replacements, and a long time on the field just takes these type of drives takes the heart out of a team.
Well, especially as if they're running right at you most of the time. You're spending your whole time bench pressing people. And if you ever go into that gym and then bench press very much, you realize that 20th rep in one series with using maximum weight is going to hurt you big time. Second man, kind of a crossbucks action. Krieger for the touchdown. That's about a 6-yard touchdown run. Krieger on the touchdown. Casey Krieger, the 5'8", 150-pounder. Powers in, a second man through, and Alleman is on the board again first here in the second half and leads 27-6 with 3:37 to go in the third quarter.
I think with that drive right there, Coach Alleman has pretty much established their dominance and taken over control of this game, and they let them know that now we're just going to run the ball at you and move it down the field regardless of where you give it to us at.
Setting up for the extra point. Again, there's so much emphasis. You get into the Western Big Six ball games. Games will be decided on executing extra point and field goal attempts. Blocked, that penetration right up the middle that time, Mike.
Yeah, that's something the Alleman coaches will be looking at on the film, and I'm sure they'll do plenty of extra point and field goal work next week.
I'll tell you what, our camera angle on that had to be absolutely perfect because it would have been coming right into the camera on that block. But it's 3:37 to go in the third quarter, and Alleman is taking a commanding 27-6 lead. We're back here on the kickoff here in the third quarter. Alleman leading 27-6. Arnold's going to kick it. Back there, they're going to try to make sure that Brainerd, number 20, doesn't touch this ball, but there's a chance he's going to get it, and he will. Wedge middle as they come up in it. Brainerd makes one cut. If he gets to the outside, he's got a chance. Broke 2 tackles. Nice, and Alleman stayed with it that time, Mike.
Yeah, Alleman did, and Krieger made the tackle there, but Brainerd was fighting very hard. If he could have slipped that one last tackle, I think he had a whole lot of sunshine to the outside.
Well, and I'll tell you, Jake Nelson was there to help him out also. There's two starters that they're using on those kick teams because of this kid's ability, I think.
Yeah, of course. You want your best players on special teams because you can win or lose a game on special teams.
Happens all the time. Take a look inside. We have a good camera angle. Number 29, the nose guard for Alleman inside there. He's not a real tall kid, but by golly, he's about 200 pounds with him, I believe. Kind of watch that center nose guard matchup here. Good penetration. Brainerd hit hard 3 times and still drives forward, across the 35-yard line, maybe out to about the 36.
Well, that was good pursuit by the Alleman defense. You know, initially they had 2 people hit him. He broke away from that, and then there was 3 more Alleman defenders there to wrap him up and bring him down. Brainerd's having a rough night right now. If he can get that speed to the outside going again, he might be all right.
We'll take a look at the defense here for Alleman. They got Wood at 1 defensive end. Number 66 is Chris Jones at the other side. Number 29 is Sean Hoover. He's 5'6", 184. I gave him a few more pounds, but at 5'6", that's still a strong kid. Number 76 is Brent Morlock, and from Melt, number 77 makes up that front 5 in this 5-2 defense by the Alleman Pioneers. Off tackle run this time by number 31. He gets out there, and that's Nick Burns.
Well, it looks like the Dicks are going back to working on the fundamentals. I don't know if they may have given up a little bit in this game, but it looks like the coaches are going back to working on their running, working on their blocking, getting the fundamental work back in. You know, maybe they may be building for the next week at this point.
Well, I'll tell you, they open with Rock Falls and they play Alleman. It's a tough schedule. They're a new coach coming in. They were 1-8 last year, so finishing out that Alleman's defense, you got Franks, number 9, playing out here as a corner. In middle in there is Adam McGinnis playing free safety. Looks like we're going to rotate up on that far side, the tight end side, and you've got number 31 out there. That's Tony Guzzo at the corner, and then Jake Nelson also.
Pena had wonderful penetration on that play and caught Brainerd in the backfield, which is excellent, which is the coaches, they're liking that now. They're sending their linebackers a little more to get pressure in that way, and they're staying in their base 5-2 defense. Alleman's getting some good work here on their fundamentals, and that's what a coach wants to do at this stage of the game.
Well, it's 4th down situation, 4th and 9, 3 plays, net 1 yard for Dixon. Alleman's defense also taking command of this ball game. As you mentioned, another punt situation, a good left-footed punt here. coming down. They're going to let that ball roll. Nelson lets that ball roll inside the 25 down to the 21-yard line, right in front of our camera here. Perfect position. And we'll take a short break, 27-6. The Pioneers lead. Make sure you get their names mentioned. Okay, we're back here. 1:04 to go here in the third quarter. Second man through. Nice hard run and a great tackle in there. That time carrying the ball is Jeremy Hurst, a 5'8", 140-pounder. He got in there in a hurry, but there was no place to run.
It looks like they've made a substitution on the Alleman line. Number 52's come in, Paul Taddy.
Yeah, you want to get, and sometimes you bring a guy or two in, and so that they can get used to working with that first group. He's working alongside the other starters in there. Again, only substitution in the backfield. Hurst is in there at wingback right now. Fullback has changed now because you got number 33 running at fullback for Alleman, John Granite. He's been there before, giving Pena a little rest. And then, of course, a 22 is in that Hurst and Krieger. We're coming down to the end of the quarter. That probably be the last play of this quarter. So as this quarter comes to an end, Alleman leads 27-6, and we'll be right back with fourth quarter action. Quarter action. This is Western Big Six football, second non-conference game of the year for the Alleman Pioneers. After losing to Sterling, they've come out here, played very, very well. Krieger bringing the ball to the outside, up near the 30-yard line, about the 29 looks like. And it's going to be, looks like it's going to be maybe a little bit short, and Alleman's probably going to have to punt that ball away, Mike.
Well, that's a possibility, Well, they are ahead, so punting the ball away at this time and putting your defense back on the field is not a bad idea.
Well, it makes good sense. And again, you're dominating on offense and defense, although that series came up a little short. They ran 3 plays there and only gained about 8 yards. So going to have to kick that ball away. The long snapper is Matt Donaway, 5'11", 233-pound senior. He's the long snapper for Alleman. He's been getting that ball back there real well. Dead center, perfect. The punt by Nelson. Ball's going to bounce and give pretty good field position for the Dixon Dukes.
Yeah, that's a great field position, probably the best they've had in the second half here. So let's see what they can do with it, Coach.
And we'll be back in just a minute. Well, we're back here. The Dixon Dukes come out of the huddle. The quarterback has gone all the way for Dixon. That's I'm going to find my sheet here in just a minute, Mike. Did you steal my sheet again? No, it's wrong team. Right. Prasuka, I've been trying so hard to get that guy's name right. Did you steal my, what are you doing?
Hey, I don't know.
Mike.
Hey.
Maybe it's over here, Michael. I thought for a second my compadre here had stolen the sheet here, but Prasuka did bring him out. It was a gain of only a yard, so while we're scrambling around and nothing of any importance happened. That's second down and 9. Again, the big fullback is Burns with Brainerd back. Quick slant pass. Oh, wide open. Almost a good play in the secondary. That's a nice throw, nice catch. Receiver that time, Lee Holmes, 6 foot, 185-pounder.
Frank's made a nice tackle in there, making sure it's secure him, bring him to the ground. Alleman's worked on their tackling this week, and it is showing in this game.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job. They really haven't given many big plays. Occasionally, Brainerd's got running around a little bit out there and caused them some problems, but heck, he can give anybody some problems with his quick feet and the way he runs with that football.
Yeah, and the quarterback's doing a really good job of hitting him in stride. You know, he doesn't have to wait for the ball or cut on the ball. It's right there.
Alleman made a nice break out of the secondary that time. I think it was number 85, Adam McGinnis, and he almost picked that ball off. It could well have been Guzzo, though, not looking back on it. Oh, there's McGinnis. You don't do that twice. He's down to the 50-yard line, taken out of bounds out here by the track. Same play, other side. Alleman rotates. McGinnis steps right in front of the quick slant and returns the ball to midfield.
That was a beautiful defensive play, but you go to the well one too many times, they're going to get you.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a nice play there by Alleman. The play before, it was Guzzo who made the break underneath that and almost made the play. And this time, McGinnis, as they rotate back the other way, McGinnis ends up in center field and runs right in front of that Prazuka pass and runs that ball back to midfield.
Well, the Alleman offense gets the ball at midfield again. I think they're going to go right back to that run game. They got their workhorse back in the game.
Alleman's flipping. So just kind of check the line coming out of the huddle there. They're flipping those linemen a little bit. Tackles from side to side. Good hard run up inside. Alleman's going to give this first group a good work tonight, I think. They're going to need to play the whole ball game next week, so they better play most of it tonight.
Well, I think the Alleman coaches at this point, they know what's working for them, so they throw in a couple extra plays to see it on film, to see how it works, so they can clean up the technique of the players over the next week.
Sounds good. Good plan. A couple subs coming in here, though. Number 60's flying in the ball game. It's Doyle. Nick Doyle comes in. And Chris Wood coming in. Thank you, Mike. So the Alleman sets up strong this way using number 66. That's Chris Jones at 200 pounds. And Fromelt over here at 265 pounds. And the play comes that way, although the wingback doesn't gain many yards that time. Number 22, Jeremy Hurst, is nailed pretty quickly.
The Dukes now, knowing that Alleman's going to try to run out the clock, they're putting 5 men on the line, and they're bringing their linebackers, so they're trying to pressure the ball as much as they can. But this is a perfect opportunity. If Alleman can execute, they can pop a big one off right here.
Well, you see that happen quite often in a game like this, but Alleman, again, they're not trying to make any mistakes here. They're trying to do it just very simple. Running the ball game for Alleman is number 90. That's Dan Bahan, a 5'9", 150-pound junior, going to bring the play in from the sideline. If your son or grandson has been in this ball game, we haven't caught him yet. We're doing the best we can. A lot of subs for Alleman right now. Number 31 on the carry, comes off tackle real hard that time. That's Tony Guzzo coming out of his defensive secondary spot to be a running back.
That was a good hard run by Guzzo, and he once again put him in position. They're about a yard and a half from making a first down, and it's 4th down. Let's see what the Alleman coaches do.
Well, they're going to go for it. In the backfield also, we had Aaron Padgett. He's 5'7", 151-pound junior. He's in there running the ball, too. Alleman's going to go for it here on a 4th down play, 4th and about 1. The ball located at about the 41-yard line, the Dixon 41-yard line. Second man through. Hard run up inside Guzzo across the 40. And I believe that's going to be enough for a first down, Mike.
Yeah, and that was a good play by the Alleman Pioneers. Right now they're running with a lot of subs in. They're getting other people experience at running their offense. That's excellent.
I think the other thing, too, is that Ruthie, obviously the teams have been drilled. The backs have been drilled very well. It doesn't make any difference who's there. We got a good ride on the fullback. Second man through is in a position where he's supposed to be, and whatever else is supposed to happen from that point on all seems to be happening out there. Chris Wood is a wide receiver to this side. First man through, no hole this time. Ruthie carries out the fake pretty well, though. I tell you, I thought he had the ball there for a split second.
Well, that was good by the Dixon Dukes, filling in those A gaps. They've been getting killed there all night. But Ruthie, they're leaving him in, building his leadership, letting him run this offense. I think that's another excellent decision by the Alleman coaches.
Well, and I think, too, this has been, Alleman 2 seasons ago, ended up with 3 good, I think, sophomore quarterbacks. Ben Lair and Ruthie, who moved over from UT, and, of course, Franks. And they had 3, they're 3 excellent players. Now they've used Lair as a kicker, and he played quarterback a lot last year because Franks, there's a wide open receiver outside, a good cut, still inside the 20 down to the 19, maybe 18-yard line. Number 90 on that catch for Alleman, that's Dan Bahan. Beautiful catch.
Now that was a solid 3-step drop by Ruthie. Stopped, planted his feet, delivered the ball. Beautiful. Couldn't have asked for a better play.
That was well thrown as he's thrown the ball in this ball game, and we'll see whether it's probably better than last game also. 84 Vince Pellegrini is in the ball game now. Franks is going to go to quarterback, okay? And there's your switch on the run. 5:57 to go. Franks on the keeper. Cuts up inside to 15 to about the 13.
That's another excellent decision, you know, get another guy some work at your quarterback. You just gave Ruthie a big completion to build his confidence. Now you put Franks in there, you let him run the ball. He picks up 6, 7. The Alleman is doing exactly what they want to do tonight.
Well, and you need to get Franks, again, like I say, they had 3 solid quarterbacks, and now they kind of spread them around. As Franks has played a lot tonight, obviously in the defensive secondary, but also as a running back. And his foot speed adds a little bit to this offense right now. So the keeper is more of a threat now than it was before.
Well, the versatility of Alleman Pioneers right now is very dangerous.
Another hard run off tackle over there, down inside the 10. We're going to mark that at about the 9-yard line. On the carry that time was Jeremy Hurst.
Well, that was good execution once again, and it looks like once again the Alleman front line is taking control, and they're opening up the holes, and they're giving the runners a lane to run into, and we're on the verge of scoring another touchdown.
Well, coming off the ball well, still coming off the football real well. Donaway, Matt Donaway, number 51, came off the ball real well that last play. Power play, tripped up just a little bit. Trying to work up in there that time, trying to get the number Guzzo, I think.
Right, and Dukes, the Dukes, they had a good penetration there. Couple players, number 3, Love, and number 79, Williams, got through there, made a good play on that play right there.
Well, Alleman takes over, has the ball still, long drive here. 4:27 to go here in the fourth quarter. First and goal, the ball marked at the 8-yard line. Coming out of the huddle now, setting up the offense. Franks at quarterback. Motion. Franks on the keeper. Could turn the corner, does turn the corner at the goal line, touchdown. Good outside running play that time. He faked to the fullback, faked to the second man, came off tackle. Resembled plays that you see in the Western Big Six and have seen in the past, and a very good ball handling that time by Matt Franks.
At the end of the play, he made a very heads-up play. He was only a yard or 2 away. Instead of just falling on the ball, he put it out. He knows the ball crosses the plane. He scores a touchdown. Great play.
Lair is ready to kick the extra point. Franks will hold. And Alleman, they're looking for one more player maybe here. Excuse me. They might have to use a time. I think they're short of tackle. So if they are, they're going to get a penalty here because they won't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. But in a game like this, you know what? We don't care. Ben Lair kicks that ball through with 4:07 to go. Alleman leads 34-6. And kicking off for Alleman. Arnold's going to kick the ball up. Again, a squib kick up front. Ball still loose. Nice recovery out there that time. Young man did a nice job there for Dixon. Get his number there, number 30. And we don't know who he is, do we, Mike?
No, you know, it's a couple numbers, number 30, number 2. We're sorry we couldn't bring you names to go with those numbers, but they're not in the program.
And they might be sophomores that, you know, you have to send this stuff in pretty early for programs and stuff. And they might have been sophomores that executed well, or they might have a varsity kid or 2 hurt that demanded these kids come up and they're not in the program. But whoever you are, you did a nice job of recovering that thing. Dixon back on the offense. Linebackers coming. Fullback up inside. Doesn't gain much yardage that time.
It looks like Alleman has switched up their linebackers a little bit. I saw number 60 Doyle and number 33 Garnett playing. It looks like they're running in a lot of subs on their defense now and giving the starters a breather.
Number 67 is Dustin Hanks, and he is in there playing one of the defensive tackle spots. Seamus Ahern, number 80, is playing in there as a safety. Number 90 is Dan Bahan, is playing outside as a corner.
Number 32 is playing free safety, Pridgett.
So Coach Justin, his staff, getting a lot of young men some playing time here tonight, here in the last 3 minutes and so. Quick pass, going to go out and up. Quarterback Pachuca running for his life. Nice open field tackle there by Alleman.
Yeah, that was number 60, Doyle, who chased down the quarterback, good pursuit, stayed at home, waited. I think that was probably his man on that assignment, but Alleman's playing good, solid defense regardless of the personnel that they have in the game.
Ben Lair, number 5, is in the ball game as a corner. So a lot of new faces, but I think Mike made a good point. I think the Western Big Six teams are going to be like this. There's a difference probably somewhere along the line, speed, size, or something between your first kids and your second kids. But these young men that are in the ball game right now know the defense, they know the offense, they know what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it.
Well, that just shows that, you know, the coaches are working with them, working real hard, and that just shows that they're listening and paying attention.
And they're still hitting real hard, and that's a good play right there. Penalty flag coming. We're going to get Spearing against Alleman. Good run that time, but I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. These guys did a nice job of running Brainerd down that time. I'm going to say this, they had better pursuit angles on him than the first group did early in the ballgame.
Oh, yeah, well, they're a little hungry to show their stuff right now, and they know that if they get in there and they make a couple good hits, it could potentially move them into a starting position, and a lot of these guys would love to play defense.
Well, you go into the Western Big Six wars, and for Alleman especially, it starts next week really playing Geneseo, because they're every bit as physical as most of the Western Big Six teams. And like we mentioned earlier, they had 5 guys tonight. We're going both ways at the start of the ball game, and you're absolutely right. If one of these kids or 2 of these kids can show something out there right now, maybe next week they're only starting 3 guys both ways.
Yeah, and that, you know, ultimately the less players you have going both ways, the better off your football team is, and that'd be a good thing to see Alleman do.
Well, the Dukes again for a first down situation. Prasuka back to pass, quick feet, looking to run. Good pursuit by Alleman.
Wrapped up by number 51, Donaway, and number 75, Burton.
That keeps the clock running at 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. 34-6 Alleman. And I think Dixon's doing it tonight. They're trying to pass the ball. They're doing their things. I think they're going to have to throw the ball some, and they're still trying to get the ball by swing passes and things like that to their better runners.
Well, Dixon, you know, a little overmanned today, but they haven't given up. There's still a lot of spunk. They're trying, and that's all that a coach could ask for, is that they give 100% and give some heart, and I think that we're seeing that out of Dixon Dukes tonight.
Well, Coach Feldman and his staff, I want to compliment them. I think they've done a nice job of getting their kids prepared. They're very organized. There's been very few occasions where things have broke down execution-wise. Interception coming right in the middle of the field. Bayhan, I believe, number 90, makes a nice run to midfield. He could go. Bayhan down the sideline to the 30. Cut back at the 25 down to the 23-yard line. What a beautiful return that time by Dan Bayhan, the 5'9", 150-pound junior. Did just an absolutely beautiful job.
Coach, I got caught up in the excitement, but they're right around the 35-yard line, close to the 40. There was an excellent block by one of the Alleman players. He peeled off one guy and bumped him into another Dixon player, opened up another 10 yards for Bayhan to go.
Well, I know the Bayhan family real well, and I'm really excited for them. I will say this, passing this information on to them, that in this situation, Dan, I think, gets his athletic talent from Mom. Jim, that's for you. Pioneers with the ball. First down, the ball at the 23-yard line. Fullback inside is number 32, Aaron Paget.
Well, you see, there's new players in the game for Alleman, but they're still running the same plays. The first man up the middle, faking to the second man. It's the same concept, the same scheme. Everybody's getting work on the Alleman offense. That's beautiful.
Well, Mike, as we run down here at the end of this ball game, we're going to be getting out of here as quickly as we possibly can. We really appreciate you joining our staff this season. You've done, you know, this is going to be fun. I hope we can do this a lot. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. John, excellent job on the camera tonight. We've seen the Alleman Pioneers dominate here, 34-6. We've seen the Dixon Dukes put forth a fine effort as we close out here with the final 7 seconds of the ball game. So, fans, if you're watching this ball game and you appreciate what you see, please keep us in mind. This is a Family Ties production, TCI Channel 38. This is Jim Sanders for Mike Strickland. The Alleman Pioneers win tonight, 34-6, and we'll see you next week from Soul Bowl, where UT will take on Chicago South Shore. Michael, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coach.
We'll see you all later.